get things taken care of. Hi, I am Brenda Jean, Power Medicine Woman, and this is Medicine Woman Solution. And we're talking about stress, how things just may not go the way you want them. Now, that's a whole different topic from what I just said. While I was doing stress, trying to get things done, you just stay tuned. You don't focus on the negative. You just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you look for the answers. You look for the answers. And that's what I was doing. I was looking for the answers. Now, again, this clock works in different things. Notice the temperature. it's 63 in here, and it's 55, almost 56 out in my living room. So it's burr. Now, stress. If you have stress, when you put other people involved, so you got to get things done because there's a timeline or a deadline. How do you react? So when other people are involved and get interfering, that can really, really ruin your day. So if you're more of a control person, and what I had to learn from my kids is, no. Other consciousness was involved, and I had to learn a lot of little things. One of them, when it came to the kids, you set the time and the tone. When it came to adults, you have to come to an agreed upon situation and tell the seriousness of why you have to leave or do things at a certain time, or the importance. Tell the importance, because even though it should be leisure, there may be an importance with the other person's mind. So communication is very, very important. And sometimes people, as you begin to learn and to grow, give an inch to take a mile. Well, if you're sitting there in stress and you have it all worked out, planned out to the T, they have no idea what's in your head. We assume that we do, and that's not the case. Now, I'm trying to figure out. I have Windows 11. Oh, finally. And this little tiny screen will pop up, and there's no exit button. So it just sits there. Oh, okay. So I put it on half my makeup. That's all right. We don't care. We'll go with the flow. So stress. So stress when other people are involved. This is where people usually will lose their shit. This is where all of a sudden you'll start building what I call the intolerance tube. And this is I hate when you do that. Why didn't you understand that? You should have cared about that. Why am I always at the, this is, again, it's how we talk to ourselves. When we're stressed, we don't connect up. When we're stressed, we exacerbate the story, we exacerbate the pain, and we can't think our way out of a paper bag. We can't think with all of ourselves. We end up just thinking with just that stress part. And if you, let's go a little deeper. Stress, for instance. So what will happen is that sometimes you will hear me refer to when I say kinesthetics. And these are our sensory ways of communication. So we have all of our sensory systems that we communicate through. And as we communicate through them, we have this, I'm hoping people can hear me. We communicate through them. That's the kinesthetic, the auditory and visual and digital, the thinking. When we start to communicate through them, we're really good at it. And then if you start kicking in your inner sensory system, you can use your intuition. But if your ego gets a hold of it, or if you're over-identifying with matter in a stressful way, and you're like, does he love me? No. Oh my God, I do it. I do it. No. Remember, you have to be a clear vessel if you're going to use a pendulum. You have to become a clear vessel. Your emotions will affect your answers. Your stress thoughts will affect the way the questions and the words help you receive the information. And if you are so determined that you want one answer and you're not getting it and you're pissed because you're not, hey, it's like I go to a therapist, I pay them to tell me what I want to hear. No. Helping yourself get out of stress. Now, that's not easy either. But it's like we have to work on patience. We have to work on this. Do you know what you really need to work on? Where are you listening? So kinesthetically, if you're kinesthetic and you feel the energies in the space, this is different than sensitivity and this is different than empathy. But so in a kinesthetic, in order for you to really take the pictures, create them, feel them, being in a space, you feel them. You use the nature of a feels. And we have spiritual feels and we have our human feels. And when you can't connect and feels with that, if you like bonding with your mate and you can start getting stressed because you can't feel the foundation, you can't feel grounded. You will just start to stress, will exacerbate it to go into for your brain to go into high beta. You'll get very stressed to the point where you'll use fear as the answer. And you're like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. You only get two tracks, love and fear. And when love is not present and fear is, the first thing is you begin to hate. Well, I don't hate anybody. You may hate the situation, that idea. And if you haven't opened up all of you, then you may start being arrogant and poo-poo on people's ideas without really understanding the true nature of the true story, all the information. So stress. So I was in a situation, I had a good holiday. Depends on which mindset you look through it. I look through it through spirituality. Even when I had encountered a bad situation and my nerves became stressed because I was feeling their volatile thoughts and anger. And no, it's not because I didn't have my shields up, because the way the people were out front fighting, they threw the energy. Okay, so instead of just occupying their space and their energy, they consumed more energy. They threw the energy. These are with words. These are with physical. These are with emotional tactics. And I could see where both of them were right. I could see where both were wrong. And I could see where both were stressed. Now, my body, because I'm more of a kinesthetic sensitive and an empath, oh my God, I had kicked up a lesson from when I was 3 years old, and I had to heal that. And I'm like, whoa. Now, you talk about stress. Everything was vibrating to the point where, oh my God, my throat was closing off, and I'm doing energy work. But then again, I couldn't do energy work because I was too over involved watching with my eyes. But spiritually, I was taken care of. It was no big deal. I could feel that everything's gonna be all right. But at the same time, I got to feel the nature of when people are completely disconnected and that are in these environments and having to solve the situation or stand back and watch the situation. So here's the problem. When people start not being responsible for the energy they bring in their space, what does that mean? They don't even know how to use up the space. They think they don't have freedom if they don't have that space. But when this space of this person and this space of this person, when this person feels not heard, not loved, not cared for, then there's pain. You're not going to think with your whole self. You're not going to think with both parts of your brain. You will go into that stress mode and go into the left brain, and you'll go into delete, distort, and generalize even further. Thank you for the galaxy. Even further. And then you're going to whittle these 4 billion bits of information and those 2,000 billion bits that you brought in. But because you're in high beta, you're going to delete, distort, and generalize to find the one answer to survive. Problem. You're deleting a lot of shit. You're deleting a lot of goodness. You're deleting. It's you reaching into the quantum field of all things potential, because you were like, why can't you tell me who I'm going to marry? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, because your variables above your head, it's the quantum field. People don't understand that when they're reading. And I'm watching you keep repeating, grabbing the same story. And when you're stressed, you will bypass all that goodness. And what do you grab? You want to know what you grab? When I became stressed, I started watching. I went right back to my 3-year-old self that had the experience. She resolved it a certain way, becoming very scared. She resolved it by shaking. She resolved it by not knowing what to do with it. So she would just sit there in the freeze mode. And I had to witness how my body is going into freeze mode, even though I'm a 54-year-old woman that has learned a lot of skills. I'm watching how my end result from that past experience is present. I like to have a beer occasionally, but this is the moment when somebody says to you, "Oh God, give me a drink." Because those words are trying to tell you that your nerves are being taxed and you can't handle it anymore. And we're sitting there and I'm like, and it's just flight, freeze, frozen, or flight, freeze, fawn, fornicate. So you see a lot of people do these things. But I sat there and I could feel how the chemical peptides, and this is emotional chemical peptides that of the negativity were dripping, but this like somebody had turned the hose on and just like fire hose, and I could feel these chemical peptides building so fast in my body. And it wasn't quite into it was more yin because I was more passive. And then I could feel the yang later where I needed to be explosive. And I could feel the testosterone in my body. Do I bolt and run now? Do I do this now? What do I do? But because it was my 50-year-old self is experiencing something I've never had with these people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there. My 3-year-old goes, this was my mom. This is my family. This is that. Oh my God. And I could feel, and it was so weird because Spirit was able to let me feel the blast of their energies, but it was also took me back to the exact memory. I could feel my body sitting there watching this. And it was just this is a part I'm not sure how to explain. I know what it felt like at a 54-year-old and watching it. But as I asked my inner body, which is doing an inner crying and shaking with all these chemical peptides that have nowhere to go except for to vibrate and make me feel so stressed, it's like, oh my God, give me something. Oh my God, my nerves. But my 3-year-old, I could feel how my body was, and I'm like, and I remember jumping out of the way and feeling how all that energy and the bodies and the fists that were flying around were coming at me as a little girl. And I remember it scared me so bad. And I'm like, okay, and so as an adult with the tools, I just sat there and I couldn't put my hand in my head because I had to keep watching. So I held the point, there were several different points, but one point I was holding was one of my physical issues, which is the gallbladder meridian. I was holding that and I was realizing I wasn't breathing. And this all started to swell up. And I says, shit, that's related to the asthma. Shit. And then back to the situation, and and it's lickety split, it's done. But the thing is later on, your chemical peptides are still doing this, and you're like, oh my God, and it takes a few days to recover. This is why if you never recover and you're constantly in that stress every day, this is why it feels like anxiety in the moment. And anxiety in some cases can be just as saying, oh my God, it's going to happen again. Now, if you have your chemical peptides haven't had a chance to leave, this is what it'll end up doing. Okay. And if you have no way to resolve it with your mind. Can we just go back to something normal? Can we just be done with this? Can we just be, and you have to talk, you have to process. Oh my God, did you see that? Oh my God, did you see it? And that's the first thing you do is you start to vibrate, and then you start to try to process and try to figure it out. You can't help. And even if you're sitting still, the inside is still going nuts. Again, this is why a lot of healing tools like this or rubbing your heart, they help. But it's the processing. Then what do you do? Okay. And you can't really do much except for thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Chanting and moving the heart can be the next phase for how you do things. Now, I'm not going to go into that just yet. Do you understand? I'm not going to go into that just yet. What I want you to understand this is the steps. So when people come at you, and I could never understand it until now, and I would think about it, how my families would process. They're trying to make sense of it. And they're delete, distort, and generalize. They're trying to make sense of this. They can't pull in their higher self, their full self, anything, their clarity. They're in high beta. They're trying to process. Did you see that? Oh, I can't believe they had it. And then if it comes to relationships, my first marriage was this, everybody's in pain. Everybody's trying to defend themselves. Everybody's trying to create boundaries. Everybody's trying to put themselves in a situation where they're safe. But what does that mean? Shutting down. Okay. I can't take it anymore. So then all of a sudden the other person feels invalid, not heard. You come up with, well, you never listen to me anyway. Or you selective hearing, and you're trying to find a way to handle this because you can't handle them. It gets very much chaotic that you sit there, and then when you're angry, especially to the people you love, well, I can't stand that you do that to me every time. You start pulling up all the things that you were harboring, that you unresolved, and you stuff it into that tube. And when you're in a happy mood, you don't bring it up. But when you're in a situation where you have to protect yourself, defend yourself, you will put yourself in a situation. And now this is the fighting skills. If your nerves are like this and you can't handle it, you're going to explode. And as a mother, I was not going to pass down the shit that I had gone through. Every child will say that to some degree. They don't want to pass it on. When I said no. So I know that when I was a little kid, I was mad. I was angry. I mean, my sister would do something. My mother told me, or someone told me, I picked up a saucepan, went over and smacked my sister. Now, over time, I can't remember this story because they're dead now, but I think it was one of my family members, I don't think it was me, that took a pencil and was so pissed that they shoved it through the hand of the other one. Violent, okay? The boy next door broke my favorite crayon. You know how you get a little tiny box of freshly unused crayons, and my favorite color was purple. And the boy knew, and he took it and he got mad and he started ruining it. And I got more mad and he wouldn't give it back. And so then he busted in half with anger at me that I turned around, and apparently I beat that kid up to the point, and again, I was only 3 or 4, but I got in trouble. I didn't know what to do with it. I couldn't cope, handle, and deal with the rage that was building up inside of me. I couldn't handle it. I didn't learn self-regulation, self-soothing. I couldn't. So I suppressed it. And when you have somebody bigger than you to make you behave in a very violent way, you can switch from being aggressive, alpha aggressive, to passive. Now, this face of the movement that Spirit wants me to bring in is to give you that empowerment that you can do for yourself, that you can wake up, you can heal, and you can grow. So I have to learn how to be a benevolent leader, how to sit there and do this with the face of love. And you've seen quite a few leaders that are liars, cheats, steals. So you have to really work on yourself about how you want to present yourself. You heal your hells. You present yourself in a very loving way, and you don't fake it. You heal your hells that love returns. You practice that. Do you need to lose your shit? Okay. So when I'm upset and angry, I don't build this intolerance tube. I said in this marriage, no. So me and my husband, if anything ever happens to us, it's like time out. We're out of sync. Now there's still the idea that we have to process. So we will give ourselves that like 10, 15 minutes of high stress tumultuous hell if we had to. And then it's like, because we can't take it anymore, we go and we heal. Like any, we fight like anybody, but we heal, which I don't know if a lot of people do. And how do you know you've healed? Because the clarity, the stress in your brain that you're like, this is so real, I have truth, blah, 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 blah. But then when all of a sudden you rub your points or you're using whatever healing tool, the clarity is incredible. The stress dissolves. You won't be using emotions from your intolerance tube or from your past experience to bring that to the fight, to the table, to the now. Because that was not the intention. The intention is, I love you. I'm not going to build up hate. I'm not going to bring hate. I'm not going to love you with hate. No. Me and my husband don't want to live in that. It makes a big, big, big difference. But it's the stage of, can you see when you're in hell and stress? Can you see how it is doing to you? Can you use tools to start noticing that it goes down? So when you're in your state of hell and you feel like it's never going to end, can you use tools to stop it? Can you get yourself out of that paper bag you can't fight yourself out of? Can you get connected to your heart? Can you? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you do not have to do it the old way. The new paradigm is here. The new fifth dimension energy is here to support you. The heart space, the love coherent space, so that you can have your heart brain coherence, is more stronger than it ever has been. That will help you return to love. But in the meantime, discovering yourself is not pretty. We don't want to shame ourselves. We don't want to go there. But here's the first step. You've got to understand you have a personality. Now, epigenetically or genetically, you're going to have these personalities. I had a family member that never really knew their father, but guess what? They ate the same. They acted the same. Attitude, all of it. But we don't have to be victims of it. It's not our fate. You can literally look at the unconscious, incompetent, that's that shit below this, and literally start to, oh, well, I don't want that. And you have to transform the old personalities into a new personality. Now, the old personality, you got to see, because after a while, it'll turn into a temperament. Why are you so angry? Well, 6 months ago, that person said that, and it hurt. Was it true? No, but it hurts. And I got to tell them that hurt. Hold on. If it's not true, why are you showing that you value their opinion? What? You gave away your power. What? Why do you want to exact revenge? Why do you want to take and clarify it? Why do you want to self-justify it for them? Are they important to you? No. Then why are you being like a planet and evolving around them as if they were the sun? And it's a lot of do with emotional chemical peptides, which you can control. You can learn how to self-regulate. You can learn how to self-soothe. You can learn empowerment without having to be this, because I see a lot of people that have, I'm going to control my family. I'm the matriarch, and I'm going to control every single one of them. And if they don't do what I do, I'm going. I'm going to make them stressed. I'm going to hurt them. And then, but I'm a loving person. I'm a loving person. But you know what? I get to hate you. That's not love. And when they start putting their alpha, I'm going to control you, because this is the stuff they've learned, and they still call that love. That boggles my mind, because they think they can do it with everybody. And that is not a very healthy leader. They're not operating through the heart. And some of these people that were in my space had to find something and twist it so that they would give good reasons to get rid of me. Goodbye. You hate me. Great. Goodbye. I don't want to line up to you. I don't want to have to pull myself down to a certain level of your thinking, or I don't want to be submissive. My boundary is here. You're going to make me feel bad because you're leaving my space because I did something that I don't think I did, or that you think I did. Doesn't matter. We're not aligned. I don't have to live out that timeline. I don't have to chase you down because you don't love me. I can heal these stories. You can move forward. So stress can be many things, but if you can get a handle of stress. So for me, when I was so stressed and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God. And I just kept saying, thank you, Spirit, thank you, Spirit, thank you, Spirit, because I'm looking over there and I see a beer on the table. And I'm like, if I just drink that, I'll be better. I mean, it took me back to when my boyfriend died. I was like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. And so then I turned to smoking, which I swore I'd never do. I don't smoke now. I quit years ago. But what do you do when you're stressed and the person you love or you made a life with, and you know it has to end, or you know that you have to endure it because it's just a bump in the road? But how do you do it without them training them to treat you like shit every time? How do you do it when you have somebody you adore that has a physical issue? It's up to you to keep healing. Don't join that old crowd, the old way. You heal it. And I have transformed many parts of myself. And I'd watch in an instant how something would change. I learned many things on this week of my downtime to display, right? Spirit says, you're also going to learn without the distraction of work, that you're going to develop bringing through ways of communication and to help different types of tools to help people heal. Because I'm getting ready to teach source point healing. Whoa. So a lot of the big ass questions that, you can't heal somebody, you can't do this, there's so many things you can do. And I've learned it this weekend. And one of them is learning to get the energy around your heart to start putting light back in your body and light in the space, regardless of how people have brought their energy in their space. No matter how angry, evil any of these people are, it's not about faking it. It's about you connecting with your higher self, you starting to learn that you can shift yourself from one timeline to another just like that if you needed to. You don't have to go living outside yourself trying to figure out. No, you can learn how to be a resolver inside. And what do I mean by resolver? We came home from vacation. One of the beams broke and water's pouring all over. I'm like, oh, so I didn't go, honey. I was like, okay, Spirit, this is a problem. How do we resolve it? And I'm just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of a sudden I went into that resolvery space. And then there was I remember this piece of wood that was in my house. So I went and saw and cut it off. I'm thinking, I don't really need it that much. So I took that little small piece and I thought, oh yeah, we have nails. And so I grabbed some nails and I went up there and I just hammered it up, knocked it. Now you wouldn't know that it had fallen. It was just one side. It was cracked and you could see where it had separated. It had rotted. And so I know my husband will fix that later. But for the meantime, let's protect the rest of the house so it don't fall apart. So one little thing can make a major difference. You know, just little things you can resolve. What do I have in my house? What do I have in my space? Now we're trying to fix our pool, you know, retile it and stuff like this. Well, it rained so bad here while we were gone that I almost filled it up. We have a big ass pool. Oh my God, we do not want to keep climbing up and down the stairs with buckets of water. What can we have? What do we have here that we could use without spending any money or breaking and hurting ourselves? And then Spirit said to me, we have that power washer. What if we reverse the hose from the wall into the pool and see what that does? And it worked. Oh, well, I don't want to hold the handle. Have you ever seen that type of Velcro tape that you would use for plants? Oh, I'm sitting there. So I'd see the situation. I don't really want to hold this. What do we have that I could do this? Do we string, tie to? No. Oh, Spirit says easiest is a Velcro. Go get it. Yeah. So now I don't have to hold it. Just put it in the bucket. Once it fills up, go. And we could have just put down the drain, which would have been easier yet. But the plants out front don't get food. You know, that good nitrogen water. So we want to exercise. We want to do this. So we just started combining things. Which mindset is going to help you? And can you tell when you're not in one? I want to be in my spiritual mindset. I want to be the resolver. I want to be joy. I want to be peace. I want to come with discernment, not lead with judgment. And when you're out of alignment with somebody, whatever you say, they're going to hold it against you and use it as a weapon. That's part of the defense of fighting. Anyways, there's so much more I could talk about this. But this isn't tribal. This isn't my classes. This is a show. So notice that it is warming up just a tad bit in my living room. Here, thanks for a viewer a couple years ago that said, you know what, we don't like you to be cold. I would wear sweaters and hats, and I was fine with it. And it's like, so they sent me a heater. I'm like, well, I didn't ask for it. But thank you, Spirit. Just like I was trying to buy local. Do you know they don't sell any of these anywhere here? I cannot find anywhere. I looked. I patiently went from one store to the next. And then this arrived at my door. It was a nice surprise when I came back. And then, like, you can see the time. That's Adelaide time. You see the date. That's my Thursday. Become aware of the time differences here. So, you know, when is she on? Oh, yeah. Now I get it. My day, even though she says it's that, whatever. Oh, someone has a bad headache. Give me a number. Give me a number of your headache. Give me a number of your headache. And we're going to just start it off. I'm going to look into the room. I'm going to read some comments and we're going to get going. I have missed you. I have missed 2 days worth of shows. I have missed you. I love you. And I'm here. Seeing it is, that Georgia at 10:12? Okay. It's a 10. Holy crap. Okay. So Tammy Ann, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to use your hand or a magnet, whichever you have. And we're going to start taking this and kicking this. If it is we're going to see what we can do. We can even surprise ourselves. And I lost my left hand, but that's okay. We only need our right. And you're going to go under the pinky. You're going to go right there at the bend. And you're going to put your hand across like this. Start getting the magnetized. Your heart, you've kind of locked up on something. So just go like this. And then do that about 12 times. Push in. Just start breathing and pushing at the heart. Now, don't go toward the middle. We want it right there. We don't want it on the side either. Right there. So get in there. Get in there. Where'd my left hand go? It sounds like it's supposed to be a song. Take your left hand in, put your left hand. No, whatever. Rub, rub, rub. Hello, I love you too. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so where do we? Lung, thyroid, heart, liver, gallbladder, stomach. Oh, part of it is ungrounded. You may have to go get a stainless steel spoon and rub that on the sole of your foot, but not right now. You will do that. But you're going to go down to your right foot. Go down to your right foot. Shit. Yeah, I'm looking at past memories as well. So right there in the middle, it's just before the curve, right at the top, it'll feel like a little ledge. And you follow that, usually the second toe up. You're going to unfreeze that one too. Okay, unfreeze that one too. Right leg. And then you're going to rub it. Okay, we're going to rub it. Oh, shifting and shivers. What is that? What is that? Thank you, Spirit. Notice that it appeared. It was not there. Now it's there. Yay, Spirit. And what it does is it readjusts our eyes, because sometimes we program ourselves not to see things because we forget what it looks like. And then we feel more disconnected. If you allow yourself to go, what does it look like? Thank you, Spirit, for showing me. And just let yourself get into that relaxed space. Then you'll switch timelines and things will appear that you thought you lost. That's always a fun one. So now she's getting there, getting that one. Both. Okay, as long as you're not pregnant, and I'm not trying to imply that you are, but you are female, and I don't know anything else about it, except for all I want to tell you is if you follow your thumb and your pointer finger down to the bones, and then it slips into a hole. Now, this is a controversial point. In some cultures, it says, yes, use this when you're pregnant. No, don't use this when you're pregnant. I'm going to take the caution of no, because this is for entertainment purposes only, and you and your doctor only knows what to do. Okay, so you're going to touch that point. And you want to, okay, so if you want to end up doing both sides, I don't care which one you want to do first, but get in there and start rubbing. And you'll feel it because you'll feel the two bones, but fall into the hole and give it a good rub. Oh, somebody else has a headache too. Okay, I'll get that in just a second. So right now, Tammy Ann, and you're going to do this and do both sides. While Tammy Ann is rubbing, you want about 20 to 30 times. I'll go over to TP. Go to your heart. And this time, you just got to go back in. You need to do another round of rubbing right hand under the pinky. Rub that one, TP. This one said, I'm so alone. I felt the heart, and that one goes. So keep rubbing. Going back over to Tammy Ann. Okay, so the egg, this one is so down that it's locked and it's vulnerable. And your body's like, I can't stop something about being vulnerable. So you feel it's like your gut wide open. So what I want you to do is I need you to, it's going to be this point, and you're going to need to you may as well do both. Take your hand or your magnet, go across, so you're covering definitely this one down here. But just do this, okay? And these points need to be connected, but just a second. And then after you've done this a few times, go here into the divot, and you're going to push in and rub. Okay, push and rub. Don't slide, push in and rub. Going back to TP. Go to the right. Go to the karate chop just above the point, and I want you to rub. You don't have anything locked yet, so hopefully you don't have one at all. Just give that a nice rub. Going back to Tammy Ann, give me a number you're at. I need to know where you're at when you're done with all of that. Okay. So I'm just going to go back up if it didn't erase it a lot. Oh, thank you for the stars. Woohoo, 500. Check that out. 50. Yes, your name goes in. It is drawing day. Good point. Good point. I'm glad we brought that up. It is drawing day. It is the first of the month. Hello, Patricia, Linda, Angela, Amy, Nicole. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, let's get down here. Yes, I have lots of pendulums. You'll be seeing people use a pendulum and just shake my head. Oh, okay. Oh boy, I do understand the kinesthetic feeling. Yes. Good, Nikki. Good. I'm glad you did. She says, I think my 3-year-old self and your friends are hanging out. Oh, behaving the same way. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel for you. Totally feel for you, girl. Here we go. Let's see. Come on, move. It's not moving. Check it, choo-choo. Check it. Linda says, and it's so important to notice the dependency we may have had on these programs. Oh my God, yes, we have to learn to detach from these programs. We have to get our power back. And absolutely. And I know we are strong enough to break the habit. Yes. And it's amazing when even that statement alone, you can tell she has empowerment within herself. She doesn't need to go outside for someone to give it. You can see that alone. So there's growth. Good job. She says, break the habit and return to love, because our core nature is love. It absolutely is. And we have to learn how to turn on the generator. Now, if you can learn how to connect to the seventh plane and turn on the generator, you'll be actually moving more mountains than you imagine. Yes, everything else is human aspect. Hello, Autumn. You just help someone put their spirit back in the body. Good. We could always use that and help those. And if they want it, yay, they have a chance to start repairing, coming back to wholeness. Oh, thank you so much. Carter says, Brenda can help you so much. All of the tribe is fantastic. Thank you so much. See, people are resonating. It's just, I think you're talking to me. Yes, because once you start to resonate, what's happening, the way I speak and the way spirit helps me speak is get into it. Yeah, I usually have to go through it to some level to experience it. And if there's some things that are very too horrific, they'll just make it into a dream. So I will feel it. And then I have to understand it and then and heal it and do certain things. But it's all good. Let's see. Ooh, okay, so I got to get back to Tammy Ann. How is she doing? I'm at a 5. Okay, a lot of burping and yawning. Excellent. That's a good sign that things are moving. All right, Tammy Ann, let's get back to you. And TP, let me know how you're doing as well. All right, Tammy Ann, let's see. You have a lot of people's energy in your field. They're telling me they want you to do a Celtic weave because I said, do you want fairy flows? They said both. I mean, but I says, where do you want me to help her kick out the energies of the people? Yes. I feel like you have people's energies in your space. Do you want peanut butter? No, so like when I was explaining, I'm in this space, things are happening. Well, for her, that's what happened. She can still feel, regardless if she was aware of it or not, she has these people in her field. So the first thing I want you to do is, I don't really feel that you know or that you're connected to. So you're going to say, I am, and say your whole name, however you want to say it, Tammy Ann, and then say your age. So I'd say, I am Brenda Jean Power. I'm 54. And I would say it with passion, but I would really connect with my name and my age so I can bring myself to this time and space in this moment of who I am. So say that 3 times. Okay. The tribal unit is very simple. It has evolved into making sure that you can heal. What does that mean? You have to go to a doctor. You have to go to a psychiatrist. You have to go to a Reiki healer. You got to go to a naturopath. You go and you heal, you heal, you heal. Sometimes you can't really always afford it, or sometimes you can't know a subject. Now, this is working on a soul level. This is working so that you can do all those things with all those people. But this is once a week. I guarantee 1 hour, but you usually get 2 or 3. We will talk about a particular subject similar to what we talked about today, but we will actually sit there as a group, because spirit will always zing it around. So we will hold points like this, or rub-a-dub-dub, however we do it. And then all of a sudden you're going to start off like Tammy Ann's going, I'm a 10, and now it's getting down to a 5. Notice she's doing the healing. I'm just doing the providing. That's what happens there. You're going to learn to see and develop and learn. The key thing is awareness. And as I begin to teach you how to use awareness, you will shift yourself into learning how to lift that veil. And when you do, you start to pull yourself out of the matrix and break the ego code. You get to evolve. And we do this once a week. And it's for $36 a month. It's broken down to $9 a week. That is nothing. Because if you were to think about an hour session, which is usually like $78 or whatever, and I give you 2 or 3, but I do this 4 times a month, you're getting, you don't get skimped. You get meat potatoes, you get quality, you get to understand life a little bit more. And if you keep beginning to heal yourself, you'll start to make sense on a soul level, which will help. Excuse me, this is going to bug me. Come on, camera. Okay. Anyways, there's a lot you can do. All right, ready, Tammy Ann? I want you to take, we're going to do the Celtic wave, because you've got to kick these people out, because your body is constantly feeling it's under this pressure. So regardless of whatever you think it is, you're going to take your elbows. You're going to bring them together, and then you're going to slice it across like this, and then you go, okay? Now, you're going to do this, but you're going to start thinking above your head. See? And then I'm going to bring my awareness to my throat. I'm going to bring it to under my chest and my sternum. And then at the same time, you can sit there and you think about, oh, God, there's that person that annoyed me. So this happened this weekend. I'm going to be focusing on that because that's the 41 thoughts that's in my face. So then I'm going to go down to my hips, go down to my knees, go down to my ankles, and below my feet. So that's how many times I'm going to do it. Now, once that's done, just start doing this. You can do fairy flows on your body, or you can just do this. Give your body self a chance to calibrate just a little bit. There we go. Now, as I'm feeling her energy fields, I'm watching her future self or the echoes of her aura doing the energy. They're picking it up, even if she hasn't registered in her brain what she's supposed to do. Okay. I'm watching how all parts of her. TP says she feels good. Okay. So TP, is there anything else for you? Lung, thyroid, heart. Go back to the heart, left, right. So you just need to start just rubbing. Breathe and rub. Go back to Tammy Ann. Now this is where, see, now her whole body's now shifted. We've taken some stuff like this out. And if she's ready, then she's going to go down to the right leg. And her right leg, you are going to follow your big toe. So you know that it's on the inside. And you're going to go behind your ankle bone. And you're just going to rub. So you're going to push just behind the ankle bone, push in, and you're going to rub. Now the kidney's going to start removing some of the toxins from your body. And you're going to be able to dump it out when you go to pee. But otherwise it goes back up and stores as fat, everything else. And you don't need your nerves in your body. So just rub that kidney. Now she's going to get going. She's going to get going. And then in a few seconds, ooh, that's good. Then they'll come back and they'll tell me their number. This is how you know your stuff. If you've got a headache, and this is the case with Tammy Ann and Teresa, we will see where they're at. Okay. And yes, can this work for you? Every time I've come across people, it depends on where you're at. Depends on what your soul wants you to work on. The answer is usually yes. Okay. Whew. Well, I'd love to see you join Nicole, because, and then here's the thing, not only is it live, but you have everything I put up into the Academy. So MWS Academy. And what the thing is you go to the tribal unit, you look in your tribal classroom, and you can see all of the past videos. So those healings, just because it was last week, it means it won't work. No, go to them anytime. Tammy, what number are you on, babe? And Teresa, tell me where you're at. You guys are incredible human beings, but you are more incredible when you become a spiritual human. That's why you get more of your strength, and you get to be more connected to your empowerment. You don't have to be controlled about the outline. What we're healing and what we're doing is we're addressing safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space is your freedom. And when you start to address these down to, that's why I felt, let's kick it to the curb. Okay, so I'm not saying you're going to do it, but I have a feeling that you might, and that means you may cry. Okay, so you're going to go to the right hand, go back down to the heart area, and I want you to just push in and rub. Just push in and rub, because we got to get that. We got to get that heart to say it's okay. It's okay. So you may rock, you may cry, you may whimper. Just rub it. I want you to do 2 rounds of 30. Means you rub 30, stop for a second, rub again, and then see what happens. And TP's down to a 2. Are you ready? Your heart. Wow. Is that where you want to rub it? Yes. Is there anything else we need to do for her besides the TP? Go back to your heart. Go back to your heart. There's like a reminder, some type of reminder. So I don't know if you have a birthday, a holiday, end of life day, whatever it was, whatever something happened in your life, your body's going, I remember, and it hurts. So something is going on in your body. You don't even need to know what it is. Just say, it's okay, body. I love you. Just keep rubbing. I love you, body. I'm here for you. So keep rubbing. Hi, April Lynn. Okay, so we're going to do the drawing in just a moment. I'm just going to make sure that we can get these to the curb. See what happens. And then when you guys are done, remember, if I forget to do it now, do it after we're done, is that you're going to take your finger on your forehead and in your belly button, push in, lift up, smile, chin up, and you're going to sit there. Now, you're going to have to sit there a little longer, you two, because, and breathe, and is because the energy had been separated so long. Because you're not just working in the now, you're working in several past of your experiences. And then just wait for the giggles. Just say, okay, giggles, please. And then all of a sudden, just listen and feel. Keep you smiling. Keep your finger there. And what will happen is you may hear a joke, or you may hear a tingle, or you just let it come through. And I feel like if you could do one step further, do connecting heaven and earth, so that you can really do that extra energy that will really bring in that lift. Now, if you want to do connecting heaven and earth before you do the hookup, then I suggest yes. Okay. Tell me where you guys are when you're done. And the drawing while I'm waiting. So mentions. So if you share the video, you get a chance to win. And if you share the video and put a mention, or you put a mention on a beautiful meme, however it goes, your name gets in a drawing. And who won this month? April Lynn. Perfect timing, my dear. April Lynn. So that means she got 8 minutes with me on the air. This is exciting. Then there is Bring a Friend. Did I do that right? Yes, Amy. Amy Schmalls, because she's brought several of them from TikTok. And so she has won the Bring a Friend. So she gets 8 minutes on the air with me. Now, Teresa P., God love her. She loves to share. And so her name gets in quite a bit. It's Teresa P. We're going to have to connect up. That'll be great. So just you won 15 minutes on the air with me, Miss Teresa. Stars. Robin. Your last name is escaping me. Robin. I know Robin knows who Robin is. I only know one Robin. Spicer. That's it. Wow, that escaped me. Anyway, she has given me people that give stars, your name goes into a drawing. And so your name went in. She got 10 minutes with me. And the expedites, these are the people that have paid to come on, and they're going to get 30 minutes with me off the air. And Nicole Mendez, you have won, my dear. You have won. Okay, you have won. So these are the people that have won: April Lynn, Amy Schmalls, Teresa P., Robin Spicer, and Nicole Mendez. Okay, you have won. Congratulations. Now, the rest of this month, people keep doing these things. Share, bring a friend, stars, expedites, and mentions, and you have a chance to win as well. So, however we want to do this. Tammy Ann, what number you at, babe? And Teresa, oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and I will get to the new people before we do anything else. So everybody's like, woohoo, yeah, congratulations. Okay, wonderful. And if you're new into the room, let me know, and I will give you 2. But if somebody brought you and you let me know who it is and we can verify that, you get 3. Now, if any of you decide that, I want this, but I don't want it this month, there's no shame in any of it. You can pay it forward to somebody else if you choose, but use it for yourself. If you want, use it. You got 30 days to, use it. And after 30 days, then it goes, cancels, and then, because it's too hard for me to keep up. So that's why there's a 30-day on it. Okay. Let's see. 0. Congratulations. Tammy Ann is a 1. Why is she a 1? Okay. So Tammy Ann, I was looking at a frequency. You're working on a frequency level. Your body says it's looking for peace. Is there anything particular rubbing that you're on a chase? So this is actually a quest thing you're doing. And it has to do with how some people, you're like, I can't deal with certain behaviors. Yeah, and that's another part of stress I wanted to talk about today, but we didn't get there. But Tammy Ann, just to run with an R3S or R3D, right wrist, third position deep. Just sit there with that and just kind of focus on the headache, pain, breathing. And what will happen is your body will start to bring it up and resolve it out for you. Okay? Just remember to measure up, dear. I said, is there any particular, not just about behavior. And it's like, it has to do with something. something about rewards and punishment. But anyways, the body, just follow along with it. You just follow the headache. Just breathe it through. Whatever shit comes up, think it through. Don't talk yourself out of it. Live in the hell. Get it out of your body. Okay, Tamian? All righty. You may ask questions. Yes, you can. You look like you're new as well. Yes. Okay. Right. We're doing pretty good. Do a flip. You know, it's funny. It's like, what kind of flip are they talking about? And, you know, that better. I did pay for. Okay, so. Oh, I probably should look at that, shouldn't I, young ladies? Yes, I should. Okay, Brenda, that's smart. Okay, so yes, we do have people that do an expedites. Amy said she'd go last. April Lynn says she hasn't, but she's going to rewatch the show later. And we will do your 8-minute any other time that you have. Okay, April, just let me know, and I will do that for you. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. What did I miss? Don't know what I saw. Not sure what that is. Let it go. Oh, okay. So Amy is all right. So we got Amy's tracking there. Judy's tracking here. Hopefully I don't need any more people. What's your question, Radar or Writer? I get where you say it. Makes total sense now. It's about the future. And let's see. I have a question. I have been having dreams that I have been coming true, like I'm seeing the future. So, okay. So you're having dreams and they're coming true and see the future. Okay. So let me just get this up. Let me ask Spirit. Well, in the dreams, they're talking to you. They want to talk to you. And so you are seeing things in your dream as a human, and you're starting to watch things to come to life and come to pass. And I asked Spirit, what's happening there? And they said, well, you're learning to watch things play out. And it's safer to have this happen because there's a part of you that in your real awakening life, you're at an arrested development, meaning you're not able to move past or be in a certain space that can give you what you're looking for. You can't move. You can't do this. You're stuck. But in your dreams, you're more active. You're more unstuck. You're not stuck in that particular part. So what's the stuck? The stuck has to do with the fact that there's a lot of bitterness, a lot of you. Were you raised with somebody that had a lot of, I'm disappointed in you, and it's just angry and disappointed, and that's a form of bitterness. So what I'm seeing is that there's also this, from that, you create a lot of distrust. A lot of this distrust has a lot to do with where you start to feel incompatible with certain people, certain things, as your body keeps doing this arrested development. Hearing those things, these are triggers. Your nerves are going, okay. And I'm looking at your future self. So I'm looking, your runner of who you are has just entered the space. And that it is how you're done doing the right thing for other people. You can do the right thing, just not having to do the right thing that they say it is, because every person you meet has the right and wrong, but it's based on how they believe. There's an average of right and wrong, which is be kind and loving, not kill people, not destroy, you don't have to even do hate. Okay. But anyways, you were so conditioned. I feel like, and I'm watching you trying to walk and you're dragging your right foot with you, which means the picture is that you can't do the actions you wish, but you have to do what you're told or you're. Okay. So now I'm going to say, well, what can we do? These dreams have a lot to do with, now they're using these words, whether they're correct or not, feeling small. And if you can look at not what's coming true as much as what is going on. So the people in your dream, so if it's your mother or any person, even an unknown, how do they show up to you? They said in one dream you had somebody show up as, it's unfair. They showed up as unfair. Okay, so that there's an aspect of you that's trying to say, I feel like something's unfair and I can use this language. It's unfair. Then I've had another person show up and they are like overconcerned. I'm just an overconcerned person. Okay. Those are the people in your dreams. So the people in your dreams, if you can write down how certain things are, then you can notice that these are aspects of you that are concerned and all of these other things. Then it is when you have one that was really helpless. And they're telling me this is sometimes you have a progress report story. They're trying to show you, and why I say try is that they keep throwing the action and how you've come into a space where, how do you want to put it? Oh, wow, hold on. You got like 20 timelines here. What the hell's happening? This one. Interesting. So when we talk about timelines, I want people to understand about timelines to some degree. They're showing me all these because this one over here has to do with genetically. This is how I'm supposed to show up. This is the personality. This is the temperament. This is what, okay? I'm watching this. And then I'm watching, and you go over 5, actually. You go over to this one, and I'm getting in that there was a broadcast message. Somebody yelled and screamed their energy field. And so then you become an arrested development around age 5. So then this timeline appears. And so you got this particular timeline trying to play out. And in your dreams, you're having the ability to understand that you don't have to abuse yourself towards yourself. You don't have to go do these things towards yourself. Even though when you were awake and experiencing it when you're younger, it was the act of a certain particular paradigm that you better go and sit in that corner and think about what you did, mister, type thing. See, you're busting out of your auto. You don't want to be in your auto responses anymore. You know you're so much more than your auto responses. You're so much more, and you know this. So your soul is waking up from what I can hear. That's probably why you're here. So I'm just going to say, to follow up, the best thing to do is that understand is you have to begin to understand what building false realities are. I'm going to address this to all of you real quick. I grew up with people that didn't know how to cope, handle, and deal with their emotions. And so they would jump to conclusions. They would take and come to a conclusion. And as they come to a conclusion, they ran with conclusions. And what they did with their conclusions is then they would go into the left brain, minus their heart, minus their higher self. And then they would start building. And they started using what's called the upper right ability to use your imagination. And they used it in fear. And then they would come up with building these false realities because their feelings were so strong of, they cheated on me. Oh, my God. And then they'd come up with these stories. And they would go hurt themselves with their own stories. And it wasn't really real. So I watch people in your space that had not known how to cope, handle, and deal in a very healthy way, but a very unhealthy way, which caused them to be in hell. Okay. Also in the shadow of my sister that passed. Okay. And the thing is that we have to start to get you to start finding you among how other people believe that their world is the only world there is. This is what a lot of us are doing, are waking up and realize we don't have to keep rejecting our world and living the world that other people want us to live. Good for you. I am me now. Oh, my heart goes out to you. Yay. And that takes a lot of strength when you have to pull away to become you. You're going to have a lot of haters because you didn't show up the way they wanted. You broke a lot of hearts because, again, you messed with my reality. People are doing their best to hold themselves together. And if you were born, kind of like what I did, born into a family, you love them, but I'm a tie-dye sheep, meaning I'm not a black sheep. I don't need to go there. I'm a different thinker. I'm okay being me. I will be me. And very good. I'm not my sister. I'm her son. Good. And that's the hard part, is to accept the fact that their brain is going, I can't accept what you just did. But you're over there going, but I was not accepting how I was forced to live. Now I'm in my body the way I want to feel, or the way I love myself. And you have a lot of people out there that have old belief systems that it can only be one way. That's wrong. This and that. I can't accept that. Da, 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 da. They don't know how to cope, handle, and deal. When you have a lot of haters, it's okay. You don't have, they are not your son. You're not the planet that has to evolve around them. You have to be okay to lose your family and friends to become you. Otherwise, you start to die off. You weren't born in that body, this vessel, this body's consciousness, to live somebody else's life. You had to notice. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really drawn into this energy field, and I'm not in anybody's space. I'm just reading it. When you are so conditioned that you can't be you, and you have to hide it, your heart starts to break on your own. Oh, that's excellent. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm meeting the people from the dreams I've dreamed of Amy. Excellent. So that means, ooh. See, now, as soon as they revealed that, I'm over here on this timeline. And the people that you are learning to love your higher part of yourself. You are learning to meet the people that you either need to heal or take information from. So you have these steps to heal. You are drawing to you ways to resolve, to evolve. I love it. That's what was happening with me, was that this information would come in and I just started to trust spirit. And the only way that I could hear spirit at one point was to hear it in a dream, because my life out here was too much. When I started to really trust with that heart, I grew. Good. I love to live it, breathe it, to talk it, dream it. I love to do all these. Dreaming, when you start doing your healing in your dreams, with your dreams, and it's a whole nother world. I still feel like I need to do dream therapy or dream. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. That'll be a class someday. Thank you for letting me communicate with you. Anybody else that's new, let me know. Okay. Let me grab my, all I did was gone for 7 days. Do you think I'd lost the whole routine? Brenda, click on the button. Which one do I click? I have no clue. That's not it. There it is. Aha! We're getting there. Make that big. There we go. I can see the screen. Go out to the next one. Bring it over. And then I can see the people in the room. Yes. Hi, Sandy. You're new. Okay, so you get 2. And would you want me to give a cold read, or do you have a question? How do we want to do this? That's up to you. I will give you a read because you're new. Sandy from TikTok. Sandy. So, Sandy, if you have a question, you go ahead and ask, and I'll be right with you. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so a lot of you, I had, if you want to get on the list, so you're not missed because you have to go work or you got to go to sleep, whatever, you go to Medicine on Facebook only. You go to Medicine Woman Solution and you message me through the fan page and you say, yes, please, 1 minute free reading, however you want to do it, and I will give you that 1 minute. Your finances and fears. Okay. Now, okay, Amy, you didn't bring that person. Did they come on their own? I just need to know. So we're going to look at this. Finances, they're looking down and they said there is, okay, so they're showing me karma. So what's happening? Don't look at karma as a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I want you to understand is that you are going to go and look at the blueprint. How did your mom and dad and family, did they have money and then lose it? Did they have money and lose it? Or did they always poor and never had it? What is going on? So when you have these particular things, notice that this is that pattern showing up in your world because you're repeating what you downloaded as a child. Part of the finances has to do with I'm gun shy, of moving into a certain particular space, belief, feeling. Okay. And I says, well, what's stopping you from doing that besides being gun shy? I feel helpless. So you're listening with your ego sense that you feel helpless. Yes. I also have this, sometimes I can't think. Okay. So you're following fear track. Yes. And what's it doing? It says I have no peace. What does it mean? I also have guilt. I have this. I have that. Okay. So financials and fears, you can pull yourself out of. And I'm going to ask you this. You have financial and fear right now. I want you to tell me on a scale from 0 to 10, how you know that. 10 being, oh my God, I know this. And play with me if you'd like. If not, that's fine. But let me know right now. We'll suspend time just for a minute and let's play. Okay. All right. See, I'm trying to be positive. And this is her coping tool. I'm trying to be positive, trying this. So on a scale from 0 to 10, it's probably something, it's a 7. So now I'm just going to say, notice how your brain wave is. Notice how do you feel? Go take your right hand, grab the first point, which is under the pinky, and notice it's at the bend. You're going to take your hand and you're going to slide it across, flip it over, slide it across, flip it over, slide it across. I want you to do this several times. Okay. And after you're done with that, then I want you to take this point and you're going to push in and then you're going to rub. Not slide, push in and rub. Now just do that. Just do that. And then after you've rubbed a few times, come over to the same hand, same point, right here. See? It's right there. Just slide it. This is on the side. So this is not on the front or the back. It's on the side, right at the karate chop, above the point. And you're going to rub. Now, it's sore on my hand, so it has a tension. It's telling me that it's a possibility it could be sore for you. Because the things you're looking at, the end results that are not true, but you've seen in the past, it's a possibility it could happen to me. The fear, or it happened once, or I've seen it with my family. It's fear, fear, fear. Okay. And what I'm looking at, okay, so hopefully you're rubbing that. Okay, now come over here. And again, you were just here. Come over in the middle because you were there in the beginning. Come in the middle. And I want you to slide your hand across again like this, right across that middle point. Do it again. Take that point, push in, rub. Okay. And after you've done that, then I want you to measure. You said it was a 7. Let's see where you're at. Because what are we doing? Why am I doing this? I want you to understand. Well, if you're stressed, you can't think your way out of a paper bag. When you're stressed, you exacerbate the story to the point the fear will just come in and go hee, and then all of a sudden it'll just drag you into feeling deprived, helpless. I can't do it. It removes you out of being the resolver. It removes you out of learning how to work with manifestations. It just keeps. So if we can start to shift the brain and the energies move in the body, unlock a few things. She says it's down to 4. Who did that? She did that. She felt the difference. Witness. Oh, this is what? Okay. Now you're going to go down to your right foot. And you're going to look at your big toe and your second toe. You're going to follow the 2 bones up until they meet and fall into a hole. Okay. And then you're going to push in and you're going to rub. Now, this liver point, when you start irrationally thinking, liver has everything to do with help you to get rid of those excess chemical peptides that like to kick you in the ass. Just rub it. And you can teach yourself to get out of this. Okay. I'm going to be teaching this class real soon. Now, when she's done with that, she's going to come back up to the right, to the karate chop point, and rub that again. Now, they're not the same. You will always find different patterns because each pattern is based on a thought and a story. Okay. Thank you for the FYP. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, when you're done with that, Then you're going to tell me what number you're at. And then after you've done this, yeah, we'll help you with all of that. I mean, you got to work on yourself. You have to notice. Oh my God. Alan? Okay. Y'all are going to have to wait a second. My battery, I forgot to bring the... I knew I forgot something. My battery is dying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just brilliant. How do I... Spirit will take care of it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And cooperation. Oops is the key. Thank you, Spirit. One more time. Let's see if I can get this. That's why my screen was looking so black. Okay. Did it in time. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're back on track. That's why it was so dark. Okay, back to you. All right. Now, what number are you at, Sandy? Because what they want you to do is take your left wrist. See the two fingers? 1, 2. That's how you're going to find the second position. No, I'm not flipping you off. Okay. Put your thumb there, nice and soft. Don't push in. Nice and soft. Flip this finger up here. Make the letter C. So your pointer finger makes in the palm. Grab these 3. Take the top of your head and let your hand drop. And this is touching. Or you can just touch here first and let that drop. But don't let go. Don't slide that thumb up. Nice and soft. And go sit there and measure the rest of those thoughts about your financial fear, and sit there with them. And then come back to me after 2 to 5 minutes and you'll tell me what the number is. Okay. It's dark again. It's plugged in. It's working. We're good. Very good. Hello. All right. If you're new, let me know. We're going to start doing some 1 minutes, and I'll look into the room and we'll get those too. Here we go. Ooh, the view in TT is so big and much closer too. Yes, it is. Yeah. I have to use my phone, Tammy. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to look into the room in just a minute. And thank you for all of the wonderful things that people are sending. I can see them. Here we go. I'm looking, if you have paid for an expedite, then you would get into you would end up doing this. But right now, I know Amy's waiting for the end. And Amy, you have an 8 minute with your 8 minutes. So you get 16 just because you paid for 8 minutes and you won 8 minutes. April will be towards the end. Nancy Burke is where we're going to go first. Nancy Burke, here we go. I'm looking. Now, we're talking about stress and the stress I feel. There's a certain stress I feel. Look at the roses coming in. The stress I feel. And you're like, I can't interrupt it. I can't interrupt it. So what I'm going to ask Spirit, what would you like? You just don't want your heart crushed. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you understand that this is what's going to happen. Your body seems to be in a constant state of stress, and I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but that becomes your new normal. But we want to understand normal is a moving target, and we want to get back to health. We want to get back to strength. So you're going to take, when you're stressed, I don't care, either hand, but you're going to find it under your pinky. It's this point here. It's this point here. And you can sit there. Nobody needs to see that you're doing it. And you can sit there. While the stress is happening, you get to regulate your heart. And you can, again, I'm doing this, but I'm having it rested down here. But this is what you can do. Nobody needs to know you're doing it. They just think that you're holding you're holding. And what I want you to do is I want you to just, while you have to be in that stress mode, if you can use your hands like this, if you have to take people's shit because they're angry, and you could just, Nancy, just start doing this. Just start doing this, either side. Do your best, even if you're pushing in and holding and not rubbing, you're going to be helping yourself a great deal, okay? And that can be for any of you that feel stressed. We're going to go over to Linda Love next. Miss Linda. Jealousy. All right, they're telling me to pay attention to the fact that jealousy is going to be coming in as a be seen. So as you wake up and you are being this spiritual being, having a human experience, you're going to start seeing themes of jealousy. That could be through TV, that could happen in your own house, you could watch it through your own kids, but I want you to feel the intensities, but I want you to take note. I want you to grow. I want you to go, oh, Spirit wants me to understand the different levels or perspectives, the kaleidoscope of perspective, jealousy. And notice how you would respond to either correct it, but just see if you can stop, do 5 seconds of standing back, see the whole picture. Say, thank you, Spirit, for showing me the whole picture. Thank you, Spirit. And you'll start to see the energy plays. Okay. And then you're going to realize somebody really needs to be self-soothed. Now, if a person or a situation can't be self-soothed, then you have to understand you're seeing it because your little wants you to heal it. So in this case, I would also tell you to do the same thing I just told Nancy, and I don't care either wrist, you can push in or you can rub, but start to do these points, okay? But you're learning how to be the observer through a spiritual aspect as a human, and which means you're going to give yourself a delay before you have to actually go into an auto response. This is you and your communication with Spirit. You're ready to take the next level. Do you understand? Okay. Okay, now Sandy, there's something you don't want to let go of because it's like it wants to build back up. And the 2 is hanging on. And I'm asking, you are having to be conditioned to be this way. Do you understand? You're conditioned. So your bell is ringing. You are self-loathing in your head. And so it starts to exacerbate. Notice what you're saying to yourself. Notice if it's pain, negative, or fear. You are asked to take and hold R3D, right wrist, third position. Find 3 fingers. Go to the end. Place your thumb, not soft, but push in deep. Make the letter C. Wrap these 3. Sit like this. Listen to the self-soothe. Linda Love, that was the heart point right here under the pinky. Okay, either hand. Right at the crick, not on the side, but just right there. And you're going to sit there because you're starting to move into your more of your spiritual space. So that's going to give you, I think, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and it'll feel like or maybe even feel like 1 minute or 1 second. But the thing is that you're moving into your higher self, which means as you're rubbing this, you're going to go, begin to become aware that you're hearing with your spirit without having to do the auto response, or you have to, this is a little bit different than self-soothing, self-regulating. You moving into your spiritual aspect of yourself that's learning how to become more centered as you experience life. It takes time, but if you can regulate your heart while you're learning how to move in that new aspect of yourself, you'd be amazed because you can move. Yes, she's got a heart space. Okay, you got it. I'm looking into the rooms. Hello, Karen Gibbons. Are you new? I think you are. I can't tell. But if you're new and you want to read, let me know. Woohoo! Got 21K. Thank you for the likes. All righty. We're going to come back over here and I'm going to Miss Lena. I'm not trying to make fun. Spirit says lean to the left. And they want you to start to notice that you can move into a different strategy of your mindset. You don't always have to be this whoever and whatever you are. They said you can start to move out of the temptation of always being this auto response. So they want you to start to practice. Do you want to have them rub or hold? Hold. Hold with the forehead or not? Okay. So the temptation to have to, so let's say your kids are, and you and you feel this, oh my God, I got to do this. Stop before you respond to the situation. If they're waiting and they're not around you, that urgency, the temptation that you have, because they're pushing and you can feel that energy, take your left hand, find the second position, put your thumb in the second position and sit there and just say, okay. I want you to feel that aspect of you is like, oh my God. Feel that aspect of you going there. And I want you to just sit into that space, let the hell of the feeling until your body releases it. Take a deep breath when you feel that it's changed all the way down to zero as best you can. And then, thank you, Spirit. How do you want me to respond? You're going to start to listen more with your heart and more with your higher self, so that when you give a response, you do not have to go into that particular old pattern of habit, and so that it can just recycle the same shit different day. You're not losing your power. You're actually beginning to transform those programs. So keep going, Lena. You've got this. Crystal with the K.